Hey guys, yours truly, Jimmy Williams. I'm back again with another great and informative video. By this time, I just want to stop for a moment and clap my hands and say congratulations to you. This is video number 10, or coaching and teaching number 10 that in our 12-part series, the Millionaire Master Course. And this is a big move, guys. I mean, you guys are almost done. So I just want to say, this is an accomplishment. Don't take it lightly, because the content and the information that I give a lot of times, some people can't properly digest it. They need more time, and I understand that. And then you have some guys, some of you may be a little further advanced, so I'm speaking your language. But if not, just take some time and go back to the other content and take your time and digest it, get it in your spirit, get it in your mind, and put together a plan of action to act on everything you've been hearing so far before you go further. Because now, we're getting close to the end. It's going to get a little more intensified, because after this one, I have two final sessions, and I'm going to, you're going to have them right after this one, where I'm going to be dealing with mind transformation. Okay. Which mind transformation is actually more important than everything else I'm going to be teaching. So if you can transform the mind, then everything else is easy. The hardest part about the whole training is transforming the mind, because you have to retrain it. The subconscious mind, your modus operandi, which is your MO, has to change. Your methodology has to change. Your habits have to change. And that only happens when you change on the inside with the power of transforming the mind. And that's not easy to do, right? So get prepared for that. Again, I'm very proud of you, all of you students. And again, for those of you who finish all of this, you do all 12, right? And you guys contact us. We're going to send you a certificate, all right? We're going to send you a little certificate saying, this is a certificate of completion. You'll get it via email, because some of you are overseas and other places like that, but it's going to be high quality where you can go and download it, okay? So the power of crowdfunding, right, for your businesses. This is powerful because there's other methods of getting funded, but when everything else runs out and the traditional financing or funding doesn't work, you're having a tough time finding certain types of investors. There's too much red tape. Crowdfunding is going to be your best option, because crowdfunding doesn't have so much red tape. Okay, crowdfunding it's an alternative and a faster way to put money behind your projects than normal other projects that's going to take you got to have good credit. You go to certain lenders, they want you to borrow against your properties and all this other stuff. Other investors, sometimes traditional investors, can be more demanding too. They want 20 and 30% of your company or something like that to give you $2 million. Most people don't want to do that. So I found this is another way to get the job done with the same amount of effort, but you win in the end, because, crowdfunding, you can have 500 investors, give you $1,000. 500 times 1,000 is 500,000. You still get the same amount of money, and the demands are much less from these guys. So I use this. I have a lot of investor friends that use it. A lot of entrepreneur friends use these methods to get the funding that they need. Let's get into this, okay? Stick a pen or grab a pen and take some notes, okay? And remember this if you don't remember anything else. There are several ways, listen, write this down. There are several ways to get funding, but crowdfunding is the least complicated and it's the least amount of risk. Crowdfunding is the least complicated and the least amount of risk. Don't forget that, all right? Hold on one second. Let me make my screen small here. Before I take this down, let me just go over these two things here. These are the two ways I'm gonna show you these two methods. Okay, number one is going to be crowdfunding through websites like Indiegogo, Start Engine, and some of those. Just online platforms that already have the system in place. You go on there, you're the entrepreneur, you set up a profile, and they connect you with their investors, or with the people that want to support what you're doing, okay? That's number one. Number two, direct to investor strategies. This can be online and offline. You can use, this is the power of referrals, door to door. If you have a strong team that will go out and meet with people, that's effective too. A lot more complicated, but it's more grassroots, boots on the ground, that kind of thing. Door to door is very, very, it can be very discouraging for the person who's doing it. But you find the right people that love to do it, then you can get a lot of things done. You can find the right investors that way. You go in the right neighborhoods, you have the right pitch, and your inflection and everything's good, and they, you know, you can leave some literature with these people, and they like what you're doing, you'll be amazed. I'm telling you things I've tried. Okay, haven't always succeeded, but I found a way to do this without giving up, and I'm just sharing with you so you guys can have more options. Okay, online advertising like Craigslist. Believe it or not, Craigslist. I'm going to show you in a minute. You can find investors on Craigslist. They're out there. Email marketing, if you could build yourself a list and that kind of thing. There's so many ways to do this, but that's a different kind of crowdfunding, which is a little more complicated. But I'm going to show you how I did it, okay, as opposed to the first method. So I use both methods, by the way, okay? So let's get started here because we don't have much time here. A lot of information I want to give you, but I want to make sure I keep it in the time frame. So I'm going to start, believe it or not, I'm going to start with method number 2 that we discussed, okay? Right here, direct to investor. Here's what I did. Let me close my screen here. Here's what I did. I took some time and I created a presentation for my investors, okay? Hang on one second. I want to make sure this is working. Sorry, guys. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, I created this presentation that you're looking at right here in front of the screen. I put this together myself. All right. And then there's, so write this down. 2 things you should do if you're going to just approach investors and you're not going to use a platform like Start Engine and Indiegogo. The first thing you have to do is write out a pretty decent business presentation. I didn't say a business plan. Business plan, not just yet. The presentation it's what's going to draw them in. The presentation, you know, some projections, things like that. Not a full business plan. You want to have something that's catchy and not too long. I repeat, something catchy and not too long to draw them in. Remember, you're dealing with crowdfunders. Some of these guys are going to have 1,000. Some of these guys are going to have 500,000. But, you know, you want to be able to get what you can from each investor and have something good for them, have a good plan of action to pay them back and so they can make money, all right? So don't be too long. And then secondly, do a video presentation. So this presentation here, I'm talking to you, but this is a PDF form here, okay? And as you can see, I'm going to go through really, really quick here. The first thing I said to them, all potential investors are going to be vetted. That's all I'm saying there. And then you want to get to the point. You know, here's the most 3 important questions that I found. I could be missing something, but that I found investors want to know. What do you specialize in? How much, you know, and how much are you looking for? So they'll say, what do you specialize in and how much you need? That's the first thing they ask. I put my answers here. You know, I do business services, high ticket coaching programs. I'm in real estate finance and personal development. Keep it very simple. And I'm looking between $3 and $5 million. This is one of my businesses, guys. I have 8 of them. But JW Acquisitions Development, it's a marketing company, and I do real estate and some other things. But I sell high ticket items as well. And I got to the point. That's what I'm looking to, that's how much I need. This is what I do. Number 2, can you explain thoroughly what the investment will be used for? They want to know where their money's going, right? As you can see, I put advertising, marketing, branding, and all that. Split testing, research. You guys might not be able to see this because my picture's in the way here, my image. Number 3, what is your exit strategy and how long will it take before I get my original investment back with some money in my pocket, right? Big question is how much money are they going to make? And I just tell them below, I'll explain later. And what I do is I jump right into it. You know, here's how you draw them in. You're going to have something for everyone. I mean, my company, I don't want any investors that's going to put less than 1,000 in. Now, online, you know, again, Indiegogo, Start Engine, some of the other ones, you know, they will take, you know, some investors that will give, you know, $100, $200. It all depends on what the project is, what the entrepreneur is looking for. But in my particular case, I don't want anything less than 1,000 from an investor. Bronze level, silver level, 10,000. Gold level 40,000. Gold level plus 50,000. Platinum package 75,000. Okay. Elite level. Listen to this, guys. Elite level can invest $1 million, 5% stake in the company. And this is more of a long-term investor. They're going to be in about 10 years. Overall, we're going to give them 35% of their money. They'll start making 5% cash flow residuals as we start making money monthly. And so, to me, I think, you know, this is how you want to, again, get to the point. And once you do that, you know, you'll know right away when you start putting out there what kind of hits you get, if they like it or not. you don't know if it's right, and you know if you have to tweak it or something like that. You just tweak it later. But that's what you do. And I start talking about raw numbers of subscriptions because I have so many products and services that I sell. This is just me. You know, I have products and services where I'm starting a radio station, television broadcast where I'm going to have subscribers. And so I break down everything, all the ways we make money. That's what the investors are interested in. How much they're getting back and how are you going to generate the income? So that's what I did here, okay? 12 months, first 12 months, 80 grand profit per month, revenue. 36 months, 200K per month, and the rest is history. And they fell in love with it. Okay, I have a guy that's interested. Hopefully we'll get him on board, but that's what you got to do. Keep them interested, all right? All these are different advertising packages that I have. The investor wants to see how you're going to generate this income, this cash flow. You know, and so with the broadcast that I'm launching, I'm able to do a plethora of things for these people. Okay, I can do a bunch of things that, you know, some people can't do with a radio station and a broadcast because I own it, right? I'm going to do some things a little bit different, but that's mainly how money is generated, through advertising. You see this package number 4, it's a voiceover TV ad spot. Number 5, limited budget option for people who don't have much money, and blah, 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 and the rest is history. But I wanted to show you guys that so you can see this presentation. And then let me just show you this. Hang on. So you see that I email that to the client, and then I also email them because you guys know me from online. If you've been following me some time, I have a pretty nice little size YouTube channel where I do a ton of videos. But I made a video for the investor. It's right here. It is right here. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see it. And that's me right there giving the presentation. See? Explaining it, because sometimes they want you to break it down in the simplest form. You go over everything with them. So again, to recap, put together not a business plan, put together a summary presentation that's going to get their attention. You want to get them interested, and then they may ask you for more. Then you modify, you go back and give them a full business plan. But they want to see projections. They want to see how the money is going to be made. You know, what's in it for them. They want to know exactly what you're doing. They want to know as much as they can about your niche to make sure it's something they want to invest in. Okay. And you show them realistic numbers. Guys, don't promise the world. Anything over 35% on the return on their money is extremely high. You can if you want to, depending on the industry. But I've seen entrepreneurs tell the investor, hey, 15%, 10% on your money in 5 years or 10 years. And that tends to suffice for some investors. That may not be for everyone, okay? But now that you see that part, so that's the unconventional way of doing it. And you'd be amazed at how much you can raise a crowd of funders. That's what crowdfunding is. You're getting investors in a crowd, and they come in, and there's not all these rules and regulations where they have to come in and jump through all these hoops to invest on your platform. Okay. So one thing I will say about, this kind of crowdfunding, it's it's still regulated by the SEC. And, you have to be careful of how you do it. Make sure everything you're doing is legal. And that's the safest thing I can tell. I just gave you some really good information there. Make sure you're doing it. And if you're in another country, like you're not in the US, they have different rules and regulations for, let's say, China or India or, the UK. Make sure you abide by those rules, okay? Again, here's some of the other companies here. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the best crowdfunding companies online. Okay, so we started with the second method first, but now we're going to the first method. And I use this method as well. So yeah, Indiegogo, Seed Invest Technology, Mighty Cause, Start Engine, that's who I use. GoFundMe, I like them too, and Patreon. GoFundMe is really, really good, but Start Engine has worked well for me. If you guys watch my other videos, you'll see when I talked a lot about how to invest in tech stocks, I discuss how I invested in like 40 tech stock companies, guys, through Start Engine. So in that case, I was the investor, right? So you guys want to, you're trying to do crowdfunding. You're looking for investors like Jimmy Williams, like myself, right? And other people who will put their money into projects. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you my account again. This is one of my Start Engine accounts. All right, you guys know this guy. Kevin O'Leary. He's the famous, he's called Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank. with Mark Cuban and some of the other guys, you know. This guy is something else, but, you know, he wouldn't put his name on something if it wasn't real, right? If it wasn't legitimate. It's what they've done, guys, 190% year-to-year growth. They're growing really fast. And they're the biggest. They've raised over $450 million. They're the leading equity crowdfunding platform online right now, all right? And of course, they're going to ask you to invest. But let me just show you my account before I show you how to find investments and where you're going to go if you want to put your corporation up on there for guys that need to find it. But this is my account right here. These are my investments. And I made money. I mean, I put about 12 grand. This was a test that I did. I put about $12,000. As you can see, it's 9,000 in regulation crowdfunding companies and regulation A companies. All right. Regulation A companies a little bit different. They're a little bit bigger. All right. Regulation A is a little bit different. I'm going to show you the difference in a moment. In fact, let me just show you that right now. But Start Engine is a regulation A company, and I put $2 grand into them. I'm going to show you that right now. But I want to show you the definition of what they mean so you know the difference. Okay. There you go, right there. Start Engine. All right. I put a little bit over $2,000 in there, and that was a year ago. I left my investment in with these guys because it hadn't really grown much yet. But I'm going to show you the power of leaving it in. You'll see some of the other stocks that I had, the other tech stocks that I have, how they grow. Here's my dashboard right here. So yeah, I put in 530 shares 534 shares at $3.66 a share. And I paid $2,002 for it, and it dipped 2%. Okay, so as you can see right now, it's worth about $1,900. So I'm leaving that in there. But look at this, guys. This is a little company here. Now I have 40 of these companies. All right, this company I put 203 shares in at $2.56 a share. It jumped to $519, guys. 66%. This is what I paid for it last year. So as you can see, a lot of millionaires are created when they put their money in these little stocks. And this is where you guys come in. If you have a really good product, your business is growing, you just need a spike. You need $500,000 to get to that next level and to really go, to go corporate and to take this thing, to even go public a couple years down the road. This is the platform to get on, all right? But let me go back here so you can see my investments again. And I want to talk about Regulation A, and I'll be done with this portion of it. It's very, very important that you get this. So yeah, so these are my investments here, guys, okay? Skunk Brothers Spirits, 330 shares, okay? Mental Happy, 31 shares. Now, for the sake of time, you got to understand, when you come on here and you because you're in competition, but you're not in competition because everybody has something different. Like some of these are water companies, you know what I mean? This Mental Happy is a mental health company, totally different. But you have to have something unique and proprietary to really get investors to come on. But Citizen, I always stumble when I say that word. Citizen, I can't even get it out. City Zenith, I said it wrong, got it right that time. But anyway, I put in, when I put my investment in, I looked at what they do, guys, all right? They're a 3D digital twin software company, okay, that helps architects, building owners, property managers, city planners, and governments to develop sustainable, clean, and efficient urban projects at any scale, okay? So, and they're in Chicago, Illinois. So when I got in, it was, I think at the time, they were like $1 a share. Now it's $1.50 a share, but they're closed. You can't even invest anymore. But the minimum investment was $500. So when you guys come on here with your company, you're going to be like them, City Zenith. You're going to come in and say, hey, listen, and they had 560 investors, okay? But they came in and say, hey, listen, you guys can invest a minimum of $500, all right? And look at this. When they came in, somebody offered them $20 million. Now their valuation was $27 million, and they're still kind of like sitting around. They haven't went public or nothing. All right. So what that means to me is whatever I put in, I'm going to hold on to it until they're ready to go public with it, whatever they're going to do with it. And that's when I'll make the bulk of my money. All right. So this is what you want to do. So this is you here. You want to make sure that you, again, have something anyone can do this. But if you're doing what everybody else is doing, good luck on finding investors like me. I'm looking for something proprietary. I'm looking for something futuristic. But this is where you go to find the best crowdfunders, guys. I haven't seen anybody else as good. Let me just show you what they're doing here. Let me just stop here. And I want to show you some of the other investments that they have, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Start investing. We'll come back to this in a moment so you can see some of the other investments, but let's go over the definition here of crowdfunding, because you need to know this so you understand, okay? Regulation A. Okay, Reg A, all right? Hold on. I think sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. We don't explain this stuff to you guys. You got to understand that, okay? Crowdfunding refers to a financing method in which money is raised through soliciting relatively small individual investments. That's what I like about this. So the guy that has a lot of money can invest, right? But then you got the guy that doesn't have very much. Okay, individual investments or contributions from a large number of people, right? That's not what I was looking for, though. Regulation A. Let's see. That's just the definition of crowdfunding, but we're trying to find definition of Regulation A. Okay. Reg A, crowdfunding. A long day. I'm sitting there trying to type and I can't even get it out. It's the same thing here. It's not really showing us what that is. Okay. Here we go. I think I found something here. What you should know about Regulation A and crowdfunding. Okay. Guys ready? Okay, Title 4 of the Jobs Act, known as Regulation A Plus or Regulation AB, Regulation A Plus, pardon me, is a part of the evolution of the Jobs Act. It launched in May 2015 after a long wait of great anticipation. It refers to an exemption that allows small companies to sell their shares to the general public, making it possible for almost anyone to invest in a business through crowdfunding. It enables startups and crowdfunding platforms to raise money for both accredited and non-accredited. That's important because some of you guys are not accredited. You know, to be accredited, you got to have so much income coming in on your tax returns and things of that nature to do it. So this lumps in everybody. You don't have to have that. If you don't make a certain amount of money, you can't be considered, accredited investor, right? All right. For the public to invest in private companies, it also enables companies seeking equity funding to publicly advertise their offerings. It has helped create an effective way for companies to raise capital while also providing investor protection. Okay. Okay. Listen to this. I'm just jumping around here. All right. Most exemptions that were previously available allowed companies to accept invest from accredited investors only, while Regulation A Plus allows all investors to participate, acting like a mini IPO. That's it. So that's, you got your definition right there. So there's two types. This is the one I like the most, Regulation A, because it lets everybody in, right? Now, and if you look at, so the other one is regulation crowdfunding. They have to be more regulated by the SEC, which is a little bit different. So before you decide to actually invest, if you're on that side of things, look at the rules and regulations on which company does what. As you can see on mine, I have 4 companies. Let me show you again. I have 4 companies that are Regulation A, and I have 36 that are regulation crowdfunding. See here? Here we go. All right. So you want to know what you're getting into. But if you're the other guy, you're trying to start and you want to find guys like me, then you know what you got to do, okay? But look at this guy. You got all these companies in here. Regulation A, flower turbines, okay? Look at this, and look who's on the front here. Yeah, Start Engine. They're still doing their thing, right? 196 companies, guys. Monogram, okay? Orthopedics. Storing Technologies, Rentberry, Epilogue, Legion M Entertainment. Okay, these are a lot of good companies, guys. This is a water company. I put money in this one too. Okay, I love this company. Jet Token, I put money in them. Lift Aircraft. I mean, you want to do things that are futuristic. Okay, Beanstocks. Pardon me. I think Kevin O'Leary. He's one of the investors here. He's probably one of the owners. Go Sun, which is guys, solar energy. Okay, all these companies are really good to put money in, but if you're on the other side, you want to get your stuff up here. Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to say, I want to get funding. Bam, that's it. Okay, get funding. So you click here. Why is this there? Okay, hold on a second. Trying to, wait a minute. It normally will let me sign up here. Hold on. Raise capital. I'm trying to find where to get you guys started here. I was just doing it a minute ago. I'm not trying to invest. I'm trying to get funding here, guys. What's the problem? It's not letting me. I got to close this out and open it again. But normally, because I'm already logged in, right? But I'm trying to, so I already have an account with them. I'm an accredited investor, but I was just on there a minute ago. Wouldn't let me do it. Maybe they want me to put an email in here. Let me just put an email in here. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, here it is. All right, see, let's begin the path to finding investors. So this will be you guys. You go in here, okay, fill out this information and get started. And just like that, again, make sure you have good images of your product, okay? Make sure you have a really good pitch. Make sure you have something really good to offer for your investors, all right? Guys, this is where it's at, all right? I've seen guys raise so much. You saw what they said. They raised over $500 million on here. I've seen certain companies raise 10, 20, $30 million in like 30 days, okay? So this method is really for them that don't want to do the grassroots work. If you guys don't want to go out there hustling and door to door and advertising on, on different websites online and that kind of thing, this is where you want to go. If you want to do both like I do both. If you want to do more of the, the grassroots, then you want to try the second method. You want to go back to this method. Okay, I'm going to make the screen bigger again. There you go. You want to use direct to investor strategies, okay? And before I close, let me just show you, I was going to show you something on Craigslist. What you do is, and if you guys are not in the US, Craigslist is a US company, but this same method I'm going to show you now applies for people all over the world. Okay, so you got to find companies, online that do this kind of advertising. But let's say I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm going to type something like looking for investor. Now, because real estate is so big, a lot of times real estate comes up. See, see, real estate stuff comes up. So you gotta make sure you look for it in services. Let's see what happens here. Work from home. It takes a time to find an investor. Trust me. And sometimes what you'll see is you'll see someone else trying to do what you're doing. Okay, this person right here, investor partner wanted. So obviously this guy, he's in the music business. 66% of the net. I'm offering 66% of the net earnings of into perpetuity. Okay, perpetuity. Pardon me. I'm also looking for an investor in the United States. I will not deal with anyone outside the United States. So this person just wants wants somebody in the U.S. So and Craigslist is everywhere. So people in other countries can advertise on here too, and they can see this. But basically, he's looking for an investor like you would be looking for one, right? But you got to keep looking. Sometimes you got to go to all 50 states, guys, to find someone that says, hey, I'm an investor. Let's go to New York City. I'm an investor, and send me what you have. I'm looking to put my money in something. Okay, let's go here. Investor needed. So you want to use words like that, investor needed or investor wanted, okay? Let's see what we got here. I want to just show you this. Private investor needed here. You got, see? Looking for a private investor for 3 properties. This person's looking for someone, okay? We're looking for an investor. We're not looking for somebody who needs an investor. Private investor needed 30,000. Investor needed for retreat property. Investors for large multifamily units. Yeah, they need an investor. We got to keep looking until we find someone here. Let's see, all of your mortgage needs. Nope. And guys, I just want to stay on there until I don't want to close this session out without showing you that this is real. Okay, let's go to Chicago. Let's go to Boston. Investor wanted. There, guys, you will be amazed what's out here. Let's see. None there. You just see a bunch of advertisements here. Let's see, up to 100% financing business acquisition funding available. So this is a funding company, and this is a loan. This is not what we're looking for. Let's go to another city. And sometimes, guys, you got to thread the needle. You got to stay. You got to be at this all day, every day, because there'll be an investor out there for a day or so, and 10, 20 people contact him, he or she, and they're no longer available anymore. Let's see. Private money for residential. So this is private money here, but that's a loan, though. That's a hard money loan. That's not an investor. Let's see. Nope. Hopefully I can find someone before I close this session for you. But I've done this, guys, and I found investors. Sometimes it takes me a day or so, but you got to go through here. You got to have a dog fight attitude. You got to have the attitude where, like I teach you guys on the other videos, you cannot quit. You got to stick at it. Let's go to Phoenix. Investor for, nope. Private investors, business loans. Have not been able to find anybody just yet. Let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. I'm gonna do this for a couple more minutes for you guys, because I'm one of these guys where I've gotta show you better than I can tell you that this really works, to kind of build your faith and say, hey, Jimmy, you told me I can go find an investor. And you can, you really can. But talk is cheap, right? Let's see. Investor needed. For business. Bookkeeping, nope. Business plans written. These people write business plans. We don't need a business plan. We need an investor. Nope. Investor wanted, or I need an investor. All these keywords are important, okay? They're all important. There we go. 90 days, nope. Let's see, need a one-on-one mentorship. Nope. And it can take, again, it could take all day. I mean, it took me 3-4 hours to find 2 people on here. But this is why I told you guys, if you don't use those other methods I told you, you got to grind in day in and day out. I mean, you really, pardon me. Let's see. You got to really go day in and day out until you find it. Let's go to San Francisco here. Let's see. Investor wanted. Here we go. In services, local investors want it. So all these guys are looking for investors, but you're trying to find someone who can, you're trying to find someone who is an investor, right? Let's go back. Let's go in services. Cryptocurrency consultant advisor. Nope. Guys, I can't find anybody right now. Wow. Sorry about that, guys. There are times you can be. I'm going to go to Houston. This is the last one. You can be doing this for like a couple hours until you find someone. Okay, but this is how you do it. Investor in services. We have the, okay, now, here's someone here, but see, need a short-term investor. But these guys, if you need money to purchase rehab or anything like that, investment property, we have the money for you. These are, so now we found our first investor. However, you know, they, see, can help you get the cash you need. They got the phone number and email there, but they're only working with real estate. Is there a small chance that you can call them and they invest in your business venture? Yes, but most likely it has to be something related to what they want to invest in. But just like you found it, we found this guy. It took us a while to find him. You can find this person, okay? Private investor has money to lend. See? Yeah. But he wants to do deals with real estate. Short-term investor, not a lender. We're not looking for a lender. Okay. Yep, that's it, guys. Investor special. Nope. Business funding. Nope. Nope, didn't find it. So what I'm going to do is, if I find something, I'm going to, what I'll do is when I find a company that does it, if you're in the US, if I find an investor or something like that, I will record it and send it out to you guys, okay? It'll be like a bonus video. But I can't seem to find anything right now, but I had to be, one of the things I do, guys, is I don't tell you to do things that I don't do, all right? In this business, you got to be a doer. Like, I'll give you this one example here. With this video right here, but it's me right there. One of the things you got to do when you reach an investor, when you reach out to investors, sometimes they want to see raw numbers. They want to see tax returns. They want to see what your business is doing in bank statements. And just so you can see that this is real, I'm going to show you mine here. This is me talking here. Okay. I'm sharing with them some of the products and services that I have. That's my YouTube channel right there. But, you know, I have a product that I sell. It's $5,000, you know, and I show them everything about it. And then, you know, I show them bank statements. I'm going to show you guys a clip really quick so you can see this. But this is real. This is not a joke. Let's see. Hold on. This is a commercial here, but let's take a peek here so you can see this. So you had to show them bank statements, you know, see that? Those are bank statements, all right? That month was May 2021, $36,000. That's one of my bank accounts for the deal that I did. This is my bank. These are my tax returns here. See that? So one of my companies did $555,000 in 2021. See, they want to see this stuff. You just can't talk about it. And I told them you can contact my CPA here in Georgia, you know, so you can have proof. But yeah, this is very real, guys. And I show them all my companies, you know, the money my company's made and all of that, and my profit and loss statements and all that stuff. But that's what you got to do. You got to prove it. One of the things you'll learn about me and the things that I teach and I do, I teach you that the best leaders are going to be them that do, not just them that talk. You got to be a doer of this thing, okay? The best leaders are doers. They lead by example. The worst leaders are dictators, okay? I hope you got something out of this. Again, go back to the source, back to what everything I was explaining to you about, you know, those two methods, those main two. It's the grassroots, you know, the hardest method is to go door to door and do your own advertising and all that. Or you can just go online and go to this company, you know, and your job is a little bit easier, but they have to like what you're doing. Or get on these other platforms where you just put your information in, the investors are there, you know, and you raise the amount of money that you need. But stick with those two methods. I think they'll work good for you. And I'll see you on the next video. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.